The 2016 Mercedes-Benz E-Class sedan is a very stylish and sporty way to commute. This is the lowest of the line, the E350, with a 3.5-liter V6, but you could also step up to the E43, which had a twin-turbocharged V6, or you could step up to the E63, which had a twin-turbo V8. This is the lowest with a naturally aspirated V6. So under the hood here, this 3.5-liter V6 produces 302 horsepower and 273 pound-feet of torque, propelling this car from 0 to 60 in about 6.5 seconds, while it's connected to a 7-speed automatic transmission. So please excuse the slightly messy interior, but you have leather seats. This car has right around 100,000 miles on it, so has a little rip in the seat. But as we get in here, you can see fairly normal gauge cluster. What's interesting with Mercedes is you have a fully electronic shifter. Let's see if my camera will focus on it here. So push this lever down, it'll go into drive, which will show up on the screen. And then you pull it up to go into reverse, shown on the screen. There is a top-down camera view right there in the center. This is a little bit of an old car now, so not updated like the newer models, but it is still good. Another thing worth noting, the seat controls are on the side of the door panel instead of on the side of the seat. So you can adjust the headrest with this knob back, forth on the bottom. And it does have full radio, media, phone, Bluetooth, and aux. And one of my favorite features with this one, you push this button on the roof here, and the whole thing slides back separately for the driver and passenger, revealing a fully open top. I'm going to try and get this on camera the best that I can. Then you pull it in a different direction, and a sunroof opens right up, not in the back, but it opens up in the driver's side, and then you just pull on it. I'm going to keep my finger on it here, and you'll get to watch the whole thing. We're right into place. Sorry, I know it's not the best view. And there you go. Now you're protected from the harmful Arizona sun. And in the trunk of the E350, it is messy, but it's actually a pretty big trunk. It's about the size of most mid-size sedans we have here in America. And as the back seat goes, nothing particularly noteworthy back here. You do have your 2 climate vents, as well as an ashtray and a 12-volt power outlet, which is not that common in back seats. Then push it back into place. The window is 1 touch roll down and 1 touch roll back up in the back seat, which, as well as all the other windows, which is not that common in cars, at least here in the US. All right, now we begin our driving portion of the 2016 E350. So, how does it drive? It drives nice. It's a luxury car, especially back in 2016. So kind of how this car handles. I'm going to get it going here. And this is kind of a curvy road. So this, I don't know how well you can tell on camera, but this is kind of a curvy uphill. This gives me a lot of confidence compared to the average car. This isn't going to outhandle a Lamborghini or anything crazy, but it really sticks. Like, it gives me confidence going fast into corners, which is really nice to see. This isn't even a really fast car. It's really cool how it handles. We're not doing anything crazy right now, like all the cars are sticking to the road, but there is a certain feel that you get when you're driving, and you just feel like you can conquer anything, especially when you're going 47 miles an hour. All right, as we get onto the on-ramp here, it's not really that fast of a car. This is during rush hour traffic, so we're gonna have to slow down up here. flooring it right now. It's actually pretty quick once it gets high in the rev range. It doesn't have a ton of low end power, and that kind of shows because it has more horsepower than torque. It needs to rev up before it gets a lot of power added to the wheels. It drives really nice. It's a very nice car. It's a very nice ride. It's really good steering. I love how the steering is. It stays planted to the road, and overall just a nice place to be. Nice leather seats, good feeling steering wheel. You have paddle shifters if you want to use them. It's easy to drive, especially for like just a normal car. And it's kind of an upgraded car, like over like a Toyota Camry or something of that level. I mean, it's way nicer than that. You know, it's not going to be as reliable, has a much higher cost of ownership. I mean, oil changes are over $100 for these things, but it's a nice place to be. It's a nice place to commute, and I like some of the gadgetry. You have 3 memory seats. I don't think I mentioned that when we were showing the car. So you can store 3 driver settings in the seat. So you can get in, push a button, and it'll automatically go to your setting. That's just one of the features. The sunroof is obviously great with a cover. A lot of nice luxury features, and you can get this for not that much money nowadays. These have come down in value. One thing that is interesting about this car, and a lot of other modern cars, so if you firmly push the brake when you're at a stoplight, it holds. So right now I'm in drive, my foot is off the brake, and we're staying stationary. It says hold in the dash, and then as soon as I hit the gas, it will release the brake and we can turn back onto the freeway, which I'll tell you more about the performance. All right, so now we're getting back onto the freeway, which, by the way, you don't have to floor this car to have a good time. Like, it's just a nice place to be. It's comfortable, it's quiet. It's a lot quieter than a lot of economy cars that you see. So that part is nice, but it has enough power for you to get up and go, or pass someone, or, you know, be a jerk to someone who's flipping you off if you really want. Not something I recommend. It also has a blind spot monitor. I didn't cut that guy off, but it noticed that he was next to me when I have my turn signal on, so it doesn't want me to turn into him. So some of the nice features that this car has, it's really nice. So I will say one noteworthy thing about this, the way that it drives, you have to push into the gas kind of a lot for it to like do something, which I feel like I drove a Dodge Charger earlier today. I don't know if that review's up by the time that you're watching this, but you push into that and it shifts and it goes. This is not quite like that. Handles a lot better than a Dodge Charger, but especially like compared to a Honda Accord, which actually isn't a bad car nowadays. They've come a long way. I would say it's kind of similar to a really high-end Accord, like with leather seats. A lot of the technology is the same, but we're talking a new Honda Accord. Like Mercedes and Audi and BMW have some of, and Land Rover, Jaguar, they have some of the best technology. And obviously that's subjective, but in the semi-regular cars, like before you get into Rolls-Royce and the crazy high-end cars, this is some of the best technology you can ask for. Now, maybe not this exact model. This is kind of a low-end model, but you still have some nice creature comforts. Like I said, that you push on the brake and hold it. It holds you at a stoplight. That's not something that all cheap cars have, and I think it's really cool that we have some of those technologies, and you can get it for not that expensive nowadays because these have depreciated so much. You have to be willing to pay for the high cost of ownership. Things break on these. You need specialized mechanics to work on German cars. It's not like taking your Honda Civic to the shop to get an oil change and that's all you need. It's like, oh, well, your fuse blew out. And I don't know if that's specific to this car, but that is specific to German cars in general, or cars with big electrical systems and more technology, more stuff to go wrong. But it's, like I said, very nice car, very nice place to be. very nice to drive. And yeah, with that concludes our review of the 2016 Mercedes-Benz E350 sedan. Hope you enjoyed it. You'll see me in the next one. Bye-bye. And you pull it again. Then you pull it again. Then you pull it in a different direction. And a sunroof. Nice luxury cars. It's just how the market works. Dude, I don't want that in the video. I want me in the video. What are you zooming in on?
I'm not zooming in on anything.